So next they observed that there were a set of kids that were clinging on to their caregiver when the caregiver was in the room. They would physically not leave the caregiver. If the stranger came and they approached the child would show a lot of signs of anxiety or nervousness and would not feel comfortable connecting with the stranger. They would also not leave the caregiver and explore the room like the kids in the secure attachment. And so when the caregiver left the room, they showed a lot of anxiety. They were very upset. They would cry. It was quite difficult for them. But then when the caregiver came back, there was also a sense of anger towards the caregiver, and so there was, a bit of pushback towards the caregiver when the caregiver tried to comfort the child or soothe the child. So, what do you think these kids, what was their attachment style? So, of course, they had anxious, preoccupied, or preoccupied, ambivalent, or anxious attachment style. So these were kids whose caregivers, for whatever reason, were unable to provide that same consistency of meeting their needs. They were inconsistent with meeting their needs. So sometimes they were able to, meet the needs, emotional and physical needs of, hunger or changing or attunement, and sometimes they were not. So the child learned that in order for me to ensure that my needs get met, I need to cling on or be very close to my caregiver. And if the caregiver goes away, these children kind of go into their this abandonment, this sense of abandonment that when the caregiver does return, they feel a sense of anger towards the caregiver. So these kids, people with anxious, preoccupied, or preoccupied, ambivalent attachment styles typically have this deep fear of abandonment and feel like they constantly need to seek reassurance from their partners, and are always wondering if something is wrong, if they did something wrong in their relationships. They don't have that sense of safety.